The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Football Friday. How can the Jets upset the Bucs down in Tampa? We'll talk with a Bucs insider about what the Jets have to do to get it done. That and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We have to look at that. Watch the tape. Apparently, I didn't have the guys ready to play. And it's not okay. You still have to fix those problems that you saw on tape.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Big thank you again to all the Asmaniacs who reached out about my birthday yesterday. It was a great birthday, and we'll see if it's a great birthday weekend when we head down to Tampa tomorrow to celebrate a great weekend and maybe a Jet win, perhaps. Real quick before we bring on our special guest on the show, we have two exciting updates to share for those of you who plan on joining us at our event tomorrow at Gaspar's Patio Bar and Grill. Reminder, there's two gas bars, so make sure you go to the right location. It's 8448 North 56th Street in Temple Terrace, Florida. Also, I'm excited to share that Super Bowl III champion Earl Christie will be in the building and Fireman Ed as well. So we got Earl and we got Ed, the birthday boy. Everyone go wish Fireman Ed a happy birthday today. They both will be joining us at our meetup at Gaspar's. But make sure you go to the right one. Party starts at 5. You can stay as long as you want. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be drink specials, raffles, cash giveaways. I cannot wait. Big thank you to the Tampa Jets fan club for working with me and helping to put this all together. With that said, let's say hello to a native New Yorker, but he lives down in Tampa. He covers all things Tampa sports, including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jay Recher joins us now. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, buddy? You got Earl Christie coming, man? I cannot. He is like the sweetest man on the planet. He's got stories for days. I'll be there too, man. I'm definitely going to come check you guys out on Saturday night. So I can't wait to meet some of your dedicated followers as well.
That's awesome. So, Jay, you're a native New York guy. You've been down to Tampa, did radio there for a long time. Now you do a podcast all about Tampa sports, weekdays at noon on your YouTube channel. So everyone's got to go subscribe. I'm actually going to be joining Jay at 1 o'clock today. So we're doing a little home and home here on our channels. But what's the feeling with this Bucs team right now, right? 2-0, dramatic wins in each of the first two games. We all watched the Monday night thriller down in Houston. What's the vibe around this Bucs team going into this one?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I had to sage the beginning of my podcast yesterday because of all the injuries, man. It is the walking wounded, the mash unit, and especially on the offensive line. Obviously, Tristan Wirfs being out in the beginning of the season, arguably the best tackle in the game. So it's kind of a makeshift deal for week one where you had your starting center, Graham Barton, kicked out to left tackle. Your starting left guard, Brent Bredesen, playing center. And then Michael Jordan, no, not that Michael Jordan, the third Michael Jordan, elevated from the practice squad, playing left guard. And now you lose Luke Gedeke to a foot injury in that game against the Houston Texans. So he's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. He's on IR. And then Cody Mauch, their starting right guard, he is now out for the year with a knee injury. They're bringing in guys off the street. They're bringing in guys that were cut from other teams. So it's definitely a makeshift offensive line that is number one on the top of everybody's minds here in the Tampa Bay area, despite a nice 2-0 record ahead of this week 3 matchup with the Jets.
What has it been like watching Baker Mayfield go from a guy who was competing for his job to be the starter there a couple of years back to now playing like a top 10 quarterback in this league and being as clutch as any quarterback we've seen in those big spots? We saw it again, of course, Monday against Houston.
You know, for somebody that comes to the Tampa's a funny place, man, because it's a growing city, but it also has that small town feel. And if you're going to come here and you're not going to be a native Tampanian, you really have to immerse yourself into the 813 and the 727. And I've done that being here 20 years, and it takes time. Listen, you're not welcomed right off the bat, especially somebody like me coming from New York. But Baker, you're looking at a guy that's a retread. He was in a quote-unquote competition with Kyle Trask. Come to find out, it probably wasn't much of a competition. Jason Light spotted Baker Mayfield. Todd Bowles wanted that veteran leadership. But, man, what an incredible turnaround. And, Jake, the big thing is the Buccaneers and Tampa Bay as a whole, they just let Baker be Baker. Like, he just does his thing, and he's just an incredible dude. You hear more and more stories every single day, every single week about what he does, him and his wife, Emily, their foundation. There was a story from Kyle Brandt yesterday from Good Morning Football of at the Pro Bowl. He was at the bar buying everybody drinks, and then in the morning at breakfast, he was out there signing autographs for all the kids. Like, he is that dude. He's an everyman, and man, it's no surprise that he is. I said I think he might be the most beloved quarterback in Buccaneers history. And you have Brad Johnson and Tom Brady who have brought Super Bowls here, but man, he's just everybody loves Baker down here in the 813. It's wild.
He's just a likable guy, right? I mean, the way he's overcome a lot in his career professionally. He was obviously an outstanding college quarterback. He's just a gamer, man. Like, you get nervous with the balls in his hands late in the game, which is like the highest compliment I think you can pay to like any quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and the thing is like when you have a guy like that who's not the biggest dude in the world, everybody knows, even though he was a number one overall pick, he's had his trials and tribulations. Run out of Cleveland, goes to Carolina. He's like the scout defensive end. Then they cut him, and then he goes to the Rams and has this incredible game on 2 days' notice that really kind of revived his career. But, yeah, when this is – I mean, you look at it the other day. I mean, they're 4th and 10 late in the game. You know, they get stopped there. The game's over. They lose. He finds a way to wiggle out of damage in the pocket, gets down the field, first down. It looks like he takes a crazy hit, and he pops right up, and he talks smack to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, public enemy number one to a lot of people in the National Football League. But that's him, Jake. He broke a tackle last year with Nick Bosa having him in his grasp. Like, this is a guy that he's easy to root for. And like I said, he's immersed himself into the Tampa Bay area. And yeah, I mean, now you wake up every morning, you're like, yeah, Baker Mayfield probably should be in the conversation when it comes to MVP.
It's really amazing. We're, of course, going to preview this game. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. The latest odds for Jets and the Bucs on Sunday. Jets are still 6.5-point underdogs. Now, the movement as far as the money line, that's changed a little bit. Jets are now plus 245. It was plus 250 earlier in the week. So there is a little bit of movement there. But as far as, you know, the feeling going into this game, Jay, we know it's a short week for Tampa. We know that there's some significant injuries. Your thoughts on how the Bucs handle being 2-0? Is there that possibility that maybe they overlook the Jets, who should be desperate coming into this one at 0-2? What is your kind of projection on how Tampa looks at this matchup and how it could potentially play out given those injuries the Bucs are dealing with?
Yeah, it's a great question, because I think the first thing is they were in a very similar spot last year where they were 2-0 coming off of a big road win. They went into Detroit last year and beat the Lions, which is, I mean, we know how good Detroit's been the last couple of seasons under Dan Campbell. And they gave up a ton of sacks to Aiden Hutchinson. Their offensive line was banged up. They come home week 3. They're playing rookie quarterback Bo Nix and Sean Payton. They're like, here we go. 3-0 record, and they got smoked. It was actually the worst game the Buccaneers played all year long. So that is certainly something that the Buccaneers have talked about. I think it's 3 or 4 straight years they've been 2-0, and they've lost every single time in week 3. So they're not going to take the Jets lightly. I don't know if this is necessarily a case of them overlooking the Jets. I think this could be one of those things where Tyrod Taylor's getting the start. I think in this instance, he may actually be a better fit against the Buccaneers defense because he's going to be smart with the football. Buccaneers usually do a pretty good job against running quarterbacks, so Justin Fields may have been kind of just marginalized a little bit. And then you look at the strength of, the weakness rather of the Buccaneers offensive line. Which defensive line is going to take advantage of it? Houston did a decent job. They got to Baker 4 times, but I don't think they made the most of those opportunities. You look at some of the guys, and I know, the Jermaine Johnson is out, and, you guys aren't 100% either. But I mean, you look at Quinnen Williams, you look at some of those guys in the interior defensive line. If they can win that battle in the trenches, Jake, I think it could be a long day for Baker and the Bucs. So again, Emeka Egbuka hasn't practiced this week. That's another something to be cognizant of. There's no Chris Godwin for a couple weeks. No Jalen McMillan. till the back half of the season. So these injuries are going to catch up to them at some point. Is it going to be this week against the Jets, next week against the Eagles? We don't know, but you and I both know that the battle is usually won and lost in the trenches. So whoever wins that on Sunday is probably going to come out on top.
And look, the Jets do have a very good offensive line. They do have a defensive line that has a lot of talent. They were good week 1, and the secondary just had all these coverage breakdowns. So they ended up allowing Aaron Rodgers, to put up 34 points.
Right.
Week 2, they were awful, but the entire team was just flat out awful against Buffalo. I don't know if Jermaine Johnson's going to play, but I think it could be a big Will McDonald game. You still got Quentin Williams. I do think the matchup is not terrible for the Jets. I think from a Jet perspective, a lot of us feel like Tyrod doesn't have the ceiling that Fields has, because Fields at his best, we saw how good that was week 1, but he also could give you that stinker that we saw in week 2. So I think the floor for Tyrod kind of raises the offense a bit. How is the Tampa secondary? Because the Jets, outside of Garrett Wilson, they don't exactly have a ton of weapons, so they're still going to try and run the ball, but we're expecting Tyrod to kind of be what he's been. He's not afraid to take chances downfield, which is something that, with Justin Fields, you were not going to see a whole lot of, given how the Jets wanted to try and design their offense around him.
And I'm sorry, Jermaine Johnson, I saw DNP. I thought it said out on the sheet, the injury report yesterday. I know he didn't. There you go. He didn't practice the last couple of days. So doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be out, but if he is, obviously something to keep an eye on and something to be cognizant of for sure. The defensive secondary, when you're looking at the Buccaneers, I mean, Jamel Dean is the guy is kind of much maligned here. He actually took a pay cut to stay here. He's a guy that when you talk about his strengths, it's press coverage. And because the Buccaneers have a real tough time getting home with 4 guys, they've had to do these crazy, exotic Todd Bowles blitzes. I know you guys are familiar with that, being Jets fans. Listen, when Todd's on his game, right, there's nobody that blitzes like him. And he gets to the quarterback in ways that, like, I don't know if we've ever seen before. Zion McCollum is the better corner out of the two. They got a lot of young players that they've brought in through the draft. Benjamin Morrison was a guy that probably could have been a first-round pick, if not the hip injury. He was a second-round pick out of Notre Dame. They're kind of easing him in. He made his debut last week on special teams. You're probably going to see more of him. And then Jacob Parrish, an undersized nickel corner from Kansas State. This is a guy that plays a lot bigger than his size out there. And then the two-headed monster at safety with Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tyke Smith, since moving from nickel to safety, the second-year man out of Georgia. Like, there's some good players in that secondary. But if I'm the Jets, I'm picking on Jamel Dean every single time he's out there. So watch for that matchup. If you get Garrett Wilson on Jamel Dean and you just pick at him over and over and over again, that could be a recipe of success for the Jets.
I find it interesting, and you alluded to this. So the Bucs, they have been 2-1 after 3 games every season since 2020. They haven't started 3-0 since 2005. So that is a long time ago. They were in a similar spot. You already brought it up last year. Now, it turns out Denver actually was a decent team, because then they beat the Jets the following week. And we as Jet fans last year were going nuts with how poor the Jets played. Turns out Denver was a lot better than we realized. But you look at this matchup here. If you believe in due, it would feel like the Bucs would be due to get to 3-0, but some of these trends actually bode well for the Jets. Plus, if you're looking at some of like the betting stuff, Tyrod Taylor in his career against the spread as an underdog is very good. 21, 12-1, including 12-6-1 when he's getting at least 4 points. And Baker Mayfield in his career is 18-30-1 against the spread as a favorite. So there are some trends that are pointing to the Jets side of things as far as keeping the game close and the Jets covering the number. I am personally expecting a close game Sunday. What's your feel for how this one potentially plays out?
I'm with you, man. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I think this is going to be a nip-tuck type of game. And here's the other thing, too, that when we break down these games, we talk offense, we talk defense, we talk the quarterbacks, because obviously that's the big money guys. But the special teams was really rough in Houston against the Texans. Chase McLaughlin, who's been one of the most accurate kickers in Buccaneers history, missed one in week 1, missed another one last week in Houston. Not even close, like a 38-yarder. I mean, come on. It's a freaking point after. They also got a punt blocked in Houston as well. I mean, Riley Dixon was taking his sweet-ass time back there. He almost got one blocked, and then the very next play, the very next time he punted, he gets it blocked. So if you're the Jets, those are the kind of fine line, right? The margins, those are the fine lines. Those are the little things that if you can take care of, let's say the Jets win that battle. Let's say they're able to control, the field position. Are they able to, block upon or be able to have some good coverage or, maybe force a missed field goal again? That could be the little thing there, and you're winning 23-20 or 21-20. So yeah, that's another thing I think falls in the Jets' favor. And if you made the old pros and cons list, I think before the season the Bucs would have a lot more pros, right? But I don't know, man. Right now it just seems like they're ripe for the picking. If not for an upset, at least a game that's going to be a real nip tuck, closely contested one-score battle.
Jay Recher with us here on a Football Friday, Jay's show live at noon every day on his YouTube channel, covering all things Tampa sports. I'll be joining Jay today at 1 o'clock. So we're doing a little home and home previewing the Jets and the Bucs Sunday at Raymond James Stadium. I want to talk to you about Todd Bowles because we as Jet fans know him very well. But first, I want to remind people that the top prizes in our weekly Asmaniac raffle on Tuesday feature a signed Darrelle Revis football, former Buccaneer. By the way, Darrelle Revis. So we have that as prize one. Prize two is a signed Sauce Gardner football. And prize three is a signed Wayne Corbett football. And since it is a Football Friday, we're stepping up the daily giveaway. End of the show today. Signed jersey by Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the greatest centers of all time, Kevin Mawai. So gift channel memberships to enter for that. Huge shout out to Colin Wolford and Castaway Jet. They are the first two to gift memberships to the community. They are each in our raffle for 5. Let's go, baby.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All right. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. So if you have a question about anything Bucs Jets related, Jay's the guy.
Bring him in.
Want to answer it. So fire those away. Before we do that, though, what's the feeling with Todd Bowles, right? Like, give us the breakdown on the highs and lows of Bowles. It felt like for a decent chunk of his time, many were just waiting for him to potentially be fired. But now it seems like he's stabilized things down there. He's been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Helps when you certainly have a quarterback like Baker Mayfield. Give us your thoughts on Bowles, because we as Jet fans, we couldn't wait to get rid of him, only for the Jets to then hire Adam Gase, so it somehow got worse. But what's the feeling on Todd Bowles down in Tampa?
Yeah, that's definitely a loaded question too, because I was one of the few guys here in the Bay Area that was like, be careful. Be careful. When he got elevated from D.C. to head coach, I'm like, listen, half of my family are Jets fans. I watched how that ended. Are you sure? It didn't look good there at the end. I don't know if this is the right guy. And early on, I think some of those returns, even though they were able to win the division, it was like, all right, well, some of the clock management stuff and the way they went out in the playoffs. And all right, if you're a defensive coach, you better be able to have a really good dang defense. And you just didn't see that. But now, the last couple of years, you've seen with him bringing in new offensive coordinators, they went from Dave Canales to Liam Cohen and now Josh Grizzard. I mean, the call that he's made every single time, it's just gotten incrementally better. They've been able to run the football. I mean, those exotic blitz schemes that he was doing, obviously, back with the Jets and then with the Buccaneers when they were able to win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, he's still bringing that to the table. Some incredible calls against the Houston Texans offense and, flummoxing C.J. Stroud on Monday night. But in a way, the jury's still a little bit out on Todd. And in the offseason, when Liam Cohen was threatening to leave for the Jacksonville Jaguars, there were people saying that they should just fire Todd Bowles and elevate Liam Cohen. And I thought to myself, that is not the right play. Not at all. Because, the shiny new toy in Liam Cohen, that may make sense right now. But there's one thing about the Buccaneers that they are not devoid of, and that is leadership. This team has went on a swoon the last 2 years in the middle of the season. And I was in those locker rooms. Not one person has talked about jumping off the ship. Everybody is behind Todd Bowles. He empowers guys like Levante David and Villa and Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. I mean, Todd's in a really good spot. And he's become more open-minded. He's changed some of his guys that have been with him over the years, bringing in new coordinators, bringing in new guys on the defensive staff. He brings in a guy like Zach Beesline this year to help him with clock management. That he did really good against Houston last week, and that's why they were able to have 3 timeouts in that final drive. So, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, Todd Bowles is really going against that. So it's kind of funny how everything has changed a little bit with Todd Bowles, but still, people want to see more. And I don't think that they're going to be fully behind him until he takes his team to another Super Bowl. With that being said, we'll see, because we know how long of a season it is, and there's a lot of damn good teams in the National Football League.
No doubt about it. All right, some super chats here. Tyrone starts us off, and Tyrone, you're on the raffle for 2 with this $10 super chat here. That's the equivalent of 2 gifted memberships, so thank you. My question to Mr. Glenn is, how do we make Buffalo look like the 85 Bears and the Ravens and Miami run up and down on both of them and lose, but at least they look competent. Buffalo, what a mess we have. Look, I think the Jets were just completely outclassed last week. Their game plan was terrible. Veteran staff completely exploited a rookie coaching staff, and also Justin Fields was just terrible. Like some of the play calling, it worked, and he was just horrendous last week. So you never really got to see the Jets get into any flow offensively. I think with Tyrod, as we talked about earlier, Jay, their floor is a lot higher, but it's also Tyrod is the NFL. It's week to week. The Jets look great offensively week 1 against the Steelers, who had the second best defense in DVOA a year ago. So, one game to the next doesn't always equate. And that's why I think there's a lot of things to point to. Short week for the Bucs, injuries to their O-line, key defensive starter and Clancy down. I think the Jets could be in this game. I think it's going to be close in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, one thing that I've learned from covering football for the better part of the last decade, more than a decade now, is every single game is its own story. As much as we want to talk about taking one from the other and why did you do this week and didn't do it last week? If you're a fantasy football owner, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you have a guy that scores a bunch of points and gets 10 targets. You're like, that's my guy. Wide receiver 1, I'm good. And then the next week he gets 3 or 4 targets. Like A.J. Brown for the Eagles. Everybody's like, that's the guy. He gets 1 target on opening night. Like, that's football, man. It's crazy. You see third string tight end scoring last night for the Bills. And I think for Miami last night, I mean, they know that Mike McDaniel, his time is that clock is running out. The sand is pouring out of the hourglass. And I feel like that was a little bit of a last kind of punch for the team of like, hey, we got to try to stay in this thing. But they're just not as talented as the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're running the roost right now. So, yeah, I look at it more like that than anything else. But yeah, I expect a completely different performance from the Jets this week against the Bucs than what we saw last week against Buffalo.
Big fella says, yo, I'm at the airport. Looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow at Gasper's LFG. Nice. Big fella. Can't wait to see you in person. Again, for those tuning in late, we have Earl Christie and Fireman Ed, plus Robbie Sabo, plus Will Parkinson. And I'm working on some other guests that are going to be in town joining us at our meetup tomorrow with the Tampa Jets fan club. Gaspar's Patio Bar and Grill. Jay, you're a Tampa guy. I know you've been to Gaspar's. What could we expect at this place? It looks awesome from the photos I've seen.
Gaspar's is old school, man. It's been there forever. So I haven't been there in years. I'll definitely be there tomorrow night to hang out with you and celebrate your birthday and meet some of your fantastic Asmaniacs out there. Yeah, it's just like one of those old school sports bars, man, right there on 56. You're not going to get lost. Like, it's right there on the side of this, like right there on one of the main roads. 56 really goes from one end to kind of because Temple Terrace is kind of the east side of Tampa. So it really 56 goes up and down. It's one of the main streets. You can't miss it, man. But get there early. Make sure you see all the deals there on the screen. Get there early, man. The parking spot's probably going to go out quick, and it's going to be hot on a Saturday night. A lot of college football down here. So it's going to be popping, man. Tampa at this time of year, when everywhere else in the country it's really cooling down, this is kind of the best time to live here in this September, October, November months.
Troy says, hope Glenn could do something to right the ship. I think we learn a lot about Aaron Glenn Sunday. You know, they can't have a no-show performance again. Like, I think the Jets there's a lot of fans who want to believe in Glenn. They know it's going to take more than 2 games to turn it around. But the one thing we thought we'd get this past Sunday, Jay, was a competitive game after the way the Jets looked week 1. We didn't think the Bills would come into their building and just blow them out and the Jets would never be in the game. And it was a lot of the same stuff we saw with Saleh, we saw with Gase, we saw with Bowles, just the self-inflicted penalties, the poor decision-making, turnovers, poor tackling. It was like everything that we thought the Jets were going to be moving away from, even if they didn't have enough talent to, be a 9-10 win team. We thought they'd be in all these games. And last week was certainly disheartening. So we'll see if it's better Sunday. Now, Tom wants to know, he super chats in. He says, is Ibuka going to play? I have him on my fantasy team, but he's listed as questionable and he hasn't practiced. Also, shout out to whoever just gifted me a channel membership. Tom, you're in the raffle for 2. As far as Ibuka, we know he has not practiced 2 days in a row, Jay. Your thoughts on his status for Sunday?
Yeah, we're waiting. So I'm looking at now 10:40-ish today. We're going to find out. So in about 10 minutes or so, that's when the Buccaneers practice is open to the media down here in Tampa. And we'll find out when if Emeka Ibuka is practicing. If he's practicing, in my opinion, he'll be in there on Sunday. This is a guy, if you have him on your fantasy team, you got to put him in there. Look at 3 touchdowns through the first 2 games. And when you are compared to a guy like Chris Godwin, you don't just get compared to Chris Godwin because you're a good athlete, because you're a good football player. It's because you're a guy that's mature and wise beyond his years. I can't tell you, there's a lot of good people. There's a lot of great players on the Buccaneers, but there's a lot of great people too. And Chris Godwin came in here as a 4th-round pick out of Penn State, and this guy has just hit the ground running, being the ultimate tag team partner for Mike Evans. And then here comes Emeka Egbuka, surprising a lot of people that Jason Light would draft a wide receiver in the 1st round. And Jake, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about this kid. He does everything well. Every single thing he does well. He's tough. He's a fantastic route runner. He makes contested catches. They utilize him in the run game. He blocks in the run game, and he knows exactly what to say in the media. This guy, if he plays, he's a must start, in my opinion, for fantasy, and just an all-around great dude, and a guy that just looks like he's going to have a 10, 12-year career in the National Football League.
I mean, him falling as far as he did, man, it's crazy because you watched him in college. The guy was awesome there too.
Yeah, I mean, you set records at a place like Ohio State. I mean, you saw the picture from a couple of years ago with him and Marvin Harrison, all these guys, and you're like, holy smokes, man. But yeah, that's the type of guy that the Buccaneers, they talk about when they draft players that like Levante David. Like, there's actually something in the Buccaneers locker room to be a man like Levante David. Like, that's kind of crazy to say that about a guy that's still on your team. But there's just, we say this about the Ravens, right? When they draft a guy, that's a Raven. Like, it's kind of become a thing down here. That's a Buccaneer. And Jason Light had an article in The Athletic, and he was very verbal on, like, I shouldn't have brought in Deshaun Jackson. I shouldn't have done this. And I'm like, damn, he put names to that kind of stuff. And Emeka Egbuka, like, he said it. He's like, we're not drafting a-holes. We're not drafting bad guys. And every single one of these draft picks for the last couple of years have really been hitting. Emeka Egbuka has been leading the way here this year.
Couple gifted memberships. Black Gypsy enters our Kevin Mawai signed jersey raffle at the end of the show for one. By the way, should be showing it off. I'm holding it in my hand right here. So we will mail that to the winner today if you enter and you win. Also, Mike Dems joining our Mawai jersey raffle. Thank you to Mike. This one is from Castaway Jet, who says, my logo is a prelude to our next Castaway player. What legit player on the roster is next to be a castaway and contribute to the pain? So you want me to predict which player will leave the Jets after this year and then contribute to more Jets pain in the future? That's a tough one, but I can spin it this way. Hassan Reddick was one of the biggest busts in Jets history, one of the worst trades, if not the worst trade they ever made. I am almost guaranteeing he's going to have a sack or some sort of big play on Sunday. That'd be the most Jet thing to happen. At least I'm going to try and make some money on it, Jay. I'm going to bet on FanDuel him to get a sack. But what are your thoughts on Reddick? How has he looked through the first 2 weeks? What's the feeling on him?
He's got a sack so far, but man, he's a difference maker. He really is. And we haven't really seen kind of the byproduct of him getting better or him making a guy like Yaya Diaby better. Excuse me, a kid out of Louisville that looks like he was carved out of granite. But yeah, just talking to Hassan, he's taken a leadership role in the Buccaneers locker room. Like, they don't take chances on guys they think that are going to be malcontents. And that whole story, and I followed it pretty close last year. There's still some, like, people going into the season like, well, what happened last year with the Jets? And it's a different story altogether, in my opinion, right? With that whole thing with the Eagles and Jets wanting to sign a long-term deal. He's actually had an example before where he needed a one-year prove-it deal to boost his stock, and he did that when he went to Carolina, and then he signed that contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's not coming here, nor is Jason Light and Todd Bowles going to bring that guy in here if he's going to be the fly in the ointment and he's going to upset the apple cart here. He has got on board. He's right there with Levante David. He knows where the hierarchy is. And, man, he's been getting after the quarterback, causing a couple of holding penalties. He's been really good. And I'm with you, man. I think this is one of those games where Hassan Reddick comes back to bite you a little bit.
It's unreal. He's a leader now. I mean, he was the worst last year. He shows up. But by the time he finally did show up, he's completely mailing it in. He was so unproductive. He was out of shape. Like, he was just a complete nothing. He joined the team when they were 2-5 already. So the season was essentially cooked by the time he got there. It's just now he's a leader, apparently. Unbelievable. You can't make it up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bo checking in. Bo C in the house. He joins our raffle for 2. Baker Mayfield almost always throws to the sidelines, very rarely goes to the middle of the field. He also favors the right side. Do you think Steve Wilkes is smart enough to expose these facts on Sunday? Well, your thoughts on this, Jay? Is that true with some of the tendencies you've seen from watching Baker?
Well, the things have changed. I know for last week when Luke Gedeke went out, it was 4, maybe 3.2 seconds from snap to throw for Baker, and it went down to under 3 when Luke Gedeke went out. So that's the thing with me if I'm the Jets and I'm looking at this game. Baker Mayfield is going to try to get the ball out of his hands as quick as humanly possible. They're going to run the ball a ton. So you're going to see a heavy dose of Bucky Irving, a heavy dose of Rashad White, and you're probably going to see some Sean Tucker in there as well. That's the way you're going to help your kind of mangled offensive line. In the passing game, I don't know if you're going to be able to have a bunch of outs and a lot of long developing routes down the field. If you're going to do that, it's going to be on play action. It's going to be Baker rolling out. It's not going to be him standing in the pocket because it's going to collapse on him with a bunch of offensive linemen not familiar with their spots. You're going to see a lot of quick hitters. So if the Jets can play press, they can get up on these guys and possibly jump some routes. You want to talk like a long-term or maybe a long shot bet. A pick 6 for the Jets would not surprise me at all this weekend. With a guy like Aaron Glenn there, trying to encourage his D-backs to be aggressive. If you get one of these guys jumping on a route, that's something that I can definitely see happening because Baker's going to try to get the ball out of his hands as quick as humanly possible. And Josh Grizzard, first-year play caller, has done a really good job. Young kid out of Yale. He looks like he can't even get into gas bars. It's pretty crazy. But he's done a good job through 2 weeks. But that's the thing. Watch how quickly Baker gets the ball out of his hands and how the Jets kind of counteract that.
One more from Mark here, and then we'll get Jay on his way out with a prediction for this one Sunday. He wants to know, what does it feel like to watch your team win a Super Bowl? I've watched the Jets since 2012, and I'm yet to even watch them in a playoff game.
Oh, man. And luckily for me, I was able to be in the building or at the, in the stadium when the Buccaneers won the game against the Chiefs, which was crazy because it was in the middle of the pandemic, and there was like 6 open seats next to me and then like a cardboard cutout of like a fireman next to me. Like it was kind of nuts. And then you're watching like the halftime show of the weekend. You can't really move. And then you play Patrick. It was crazy, man. It was unbelievable to be able to watch that. And the big thing that stood out was Tom Brady. Like everybody in the building was like all jacked up. And here's Tom Brady just acting like he's fired up. And it was just like another day, another walk in the park for Tom. And they were fantastic. Antonio Brown and the way and Rob Gronkowski, and then the way the defense was able to shut down Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes still looked good, 38-9, and it was kind of similar to what we saw in the game against Philadelphia. Like they lost the game, but Mahomes is dancing around. Like he's such a talented guy. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see, and just a couple of months before or after WrestleMania in that same building. So yeah, the pandemic was kind of wild down here, but we were very fortunate to have a lot of cool events.
You mentioned Antonio Brown, and then, a season later, he's at MetLife Stadium against the Jets, and we never saw him on an NFL field after that. Now, the Jets ended Antonio Brown's career, Jay.
I know, and the crazy discussion is down here. Like we go back and forth about Antonio Brown, and you ask people, would you give back the Antonio? Like, do you regret the Antonio Brown signing? And I haven't heard one person say yes.
No,
he helped them win a Super Bowl. He was fantastic. And you look at that offense, man, with Brady and Leonard Fournette, and then you had Gronk, AB, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. It's like, yeah, I mean, who do you cover in that situation? So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting career for Antonio Brown. He'll never be forgotten here in the Tampa Bay area for good and for bad.
We gladly would take anyone crazy like AB if you get a Super Bowl out of it.
Hell yeah.
No brainer. Tom D enters the raffle for 2. And everyone noticed Tom D's icon is now Beast Breaker. Hey, now. A pick 6 from your lips to God's ears, Jay. So the Jets never force any turnovers. This has been a running thing for the last couple of years. They've yet to have one this year. They should have had a pick 6 week 1. Brandon Stevens slipped and dropped what would have been what felt like a walk-in pick 6 against Rodgers in that opening game against Pittsburgh. So I'll tell you what, they get a pick 6. All the credit to you, because there's not a single Jet fan on the planet that feels good about that happening in this game.
The Bucs don't have any turnovers either, and no takeaway for the Bucs either. And actually, Levante David had a ball that was thrown right to him, and it dropped in his hands. And Todd Bowles, this is how you can tell they love Levante David. Todd Bowles is like, we're gonna make fun of Levante David all week for that. Like that shows you the kind of rapport that they have and the kind of relationship they have. So yeah, don't takeaways for either one of these teams. It's probably going to be a turnover-riddled game then, right? If we're betting men. So, yeah, I'll go a pick 6 for the Jets because I'm wearing my green. I come in peace today.
I'll tell you what, Jay. I'm excited to join you at 1 o'clock. But right now, I need you to give us a game prediction for Sunday. I mean, this is kind of the consensus nationally. Yeah. This is from NFL.com. All their experts all picking Tampa to win. Give us your score prediction for Sunday at Raymond James.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those weird scores. I think the Bucs win, but I think it's going to be close, man. I'm going like 23-22 or 26. Let's go 26-24 Bucs. Just like a weird game. I think the Jets really have a situation here where a lot of the things line up for them to be competitive in this game. And in games like this, New Yorkers show out. And trust me, as a guy that's lived here 20 years, where the Giants are in town, the Jets are in town, we see this with the other sports, with the Yankees and the Mets in town, Rangers and Islanders. The New Yorkers show out, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy. The Buccaneers are going to be wearing their white creamsicles, but I think if the Jets can kind of stay in this game early and go punch for punch, and I've got a lot of faith in Tyrod Taylor just kind of being able to manage the game in the right way to keep the Jets in it. That's why I think it's going to be a lot closer than other people think.
How is George M. Steinbrenner Field hosting the Rays? How's that been this year, by the way?
Bro, it is hotter than a cow's ass there. It is so nuts. It's like you go to a game, it doesn't matter what time, it is so hot there. And yeah, because it's so 10, 11,000. When the Yankees are in town, it's like a Yankees home game. But yeah, I mean, the Rays, they did what they could, but they're going to be on the outside looking in come playoff time. Yankees, big win last night. I've been watching them pretty much every night. Man, baseball, it's kind of taken a little bit of a backseat down here to football because the Rays have struggled and the Bucs have started out well. USF has done well, but I'm ready for MLB postseason, man. I honestly don't know what the hell's happened. The Red Sox scare the hell out of me with their athleticism, and I just feel like all of us, we might just be spinning our tires playing for second place because of how much talent the Dodgers have.
It just feels like it could be wide open, though, especially in the American League. Like, I don't think there's any great team.
No, not, and that's why, like, I said it yesterday on my show, and I hated saying it. Like, the way that the Red Sox are constructed with all of their speed, you have a great starter in Crochet and Chapman. Where was this Chapman with the Yankees? Being able to throw strikes and keeping the ERA and the walks down, like they scare me. And then Houston, you just, you never know with Houston, right? You can just kind of dig into that well of the experience. Or could the Yankees, being more versatile? Max Fried, unbelievable last night. You want to talk about making sure that your money goes a long way, right? Not signing Soto. It's worked out well with Cody Bellinger creeping up to 100 RBIs and Max Fried, just unbelievable. So we'll see. I'm excited for the AL, and I like the Phillies in the NL, man. I think they might have the antidote for the Dodgers, but like, could all just be spinning our tires. You run out Shohei and all these other guys, and Shohei Betts and Freddie Freeman. That's an unbelievable start to the lineup.
Yep, Dodgers getting healthy too, to your point as well.
Yeah,
Jay, you're the man. I'll talk to you in about 2 hours on your channel, but plug the channel once again. Where can people find everything?
The Jay Recher podcast live every day at noon. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Follow me at Jay Recher, JayRecher on all social media platforms. And looking forward to seeing you and looking forward to meeting all you Jet fans down here. I'll be at Gas Bars with you tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Jay, talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Recher, great job covering all things Tampa sports. Good insight there on the Bucs. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're presented today by my friends at Huga House. Get a Performance Line hat, 20% off when you go to hugahouse.com and you use my promo code Asman. That's hugahouse.com, promo code Asman, and you will get 20% off. Shout out to Huga House for supporting our show. We made the announcement at the top. We got a Super Bowl champion in the house at Gas Bars tomorrow. Earl Christie will be in the building. Fireman Ed will be in the building. It's his birthday today, so we'll celebrate Fireman Ed's birthday tomorrow. My birthday was yesterday, so we need a Jet win. A year ago today, the Jets kicked the crap out of the Patriots, and it was awesome. So let's manifest another win on Sunday. The Rooster checks in with this super chat. We're going to get to your calls coming up, so join the Gusbuster hotline if you haven't already. The Rooster in the raffle for 5. He says his 2 games into a Jet coaching tenure, a record for a head coach to say it seems like he didn't have the team prepared to play in a post-game presser. What is that? Criminal. Maybe AG is not built for this shit. I think you're taking it a little too literal when you're like, is it, it seems like I didn't have my team ready to play. I think Glenn was just being accountable there, right? I'm not gonna read too much into his words. I am going to read into how his team looks and plays on Sunday. I think this is a early litmus test for what we have with our head coach. No one's saying the Jets have to win Sunday, but they can't have a game that was as embarrassing as what we saw last week. We need to see this team compete and have a chance to win. That's the goal. Be in the game in the fourth quarter, have a legitimate chance to win. Talent-wise, the Bucs are a very good team. But it's a short week for them, and they're down 3 starters on their offensive line and a stud defensive lineman. The Jets should have every motivation to give the Tampa Bay Bucs their best shot. We saw Miami in desperation mode last night give Buffalo their best shot on the road as an 11.5-point underdog. The Jets need to show up, and they need to go out there, and they need to give an effort like what we saw week 1. And specifically, the defense needs to play a heck of a lot better because it is a joke how poorly they have been. And if Ibuka does not play and you have Sauce on Evans, there is no excuse for this defense to be torched. Baker's going to make plays because he's a really good quarterback. And Tampa's got a legit running game. I understand all that. But the Jets cannot be embarrassed in this game. There's too many things trending positively for this game to be close. If they're blown out, that to me is absolutely unacceptable. This needs to be a game in the fourth quarter. Needs to. Has to. Better be. Bo C. Super chat. He cuts the line. Jake, major weakness of Tampa is their lack of an edge rush. Well, watch out for the Hassan Reddick revenge game. The reverse that Buffalo sniffed out last week would probably go for 6 against this team. We should have success rushing the edge. Not if we're predictable, though, Bo. See, Buffalo knew what the Jets were running. Buffalo could not stop the run either. Did you watch Miami run the ball last night? Did you watch the Ravens do it against them? The Jets just had no plan last week. Fields was awful, and they were too predictable offensively. I'm seeing some comments here like Bill Clinton saying AG equals clown. Relax, Bill Clinton. It's 2 games in, dude. All right? If Chris Boswell missed from 60 yards and the Jets are 1-1 right now, are you calling Aaron Glenn a clown? All right? Last week was not acceptable, but do we have to call our head coach a clown already? Like, let's be fair. I'm very discouraged with what I saw last week, but I'm also not going to sit here and say that Aaron Glenn can't improve 2 games into his first time being a coach. I'm expecting them to be in the game Sunday. If they get blown out Sunday, then I'm going to be embarrassed. And it's hard to win when your quarterback is that god-awful. All right? It's like we're revisiting the Zach Wilson conversations. Because Fields gave them no chance on Sunday. None. I think Tyrod, at the bare minimum, is going to raise this team's offensive floor. Open phone lines for those who want in. How many memberships we have to? We only have 12 total gifted memberships so far. We are giving away a signed Kevin Mawai jersey. So if you want this for your man cave to put in a frame or the woman cave out there, if there is such a thing, I have it right here. We'll mail it to a lucky Asmaniac at the end of the show. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to now some of your calls. And let's say hello first up today to Neil.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Good morning, Jake.
Good morning, Neil.
How was did you go out for your birthday yesterday?
I did. Thank you, Neil. I did. I'm excited to be down in Tampa tomorrow to celebrate with Asmaniacs.
Let me tell you something. This guy, Jay, holy crap. He gave me more optimism than I've had the last month with the Jets. Hey, the only thing he was missing was picking the Jets to win the game. I mean, Jesus Christ. He is really a non-biased Tampa guy, right, Jack?
Well, I just think if you really think about it, Tampa had to go out there and narrowly win both their first 2 games, right? Yeah. It's not like they were just this dominant, freight train, and they're banged up. They're missing 3 guys on their offensive line. That's a big deal. They're missing Clancy on their defensive line. That's a big deal. Ibuka might not play. That's a big deal. So Tampa's better. They got the better quarterback. They got the more proven coaching staff. But, this is not – you're not going into, Seattle on the road. You're going to Tampa. There's going to be a lot of Jet fans there. Like, there's a lot of things that point to the Jets making this a legitimate close game. So I don't think he's crazy or off base. I agree with everything he said.
No, there's no question about it. I mean, look, the one thing we have to realize is, again, with, calling Glenn trash and all that shit's bullshit. Look, we're going into this game Sunday, and I want to see a level of desperation. Miami showed a great deal of desperation yesterday. I mean, they were just outclassed by Buffalo. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Buffalo is just an arm and a leg over them. And, Tua made that stupid mistake at the end. But I will say this to you. I know yesterday you were thinking about, would it be better if Miami won or lost yesterday? I have to say it's better they lost, because Tyreek Hill is talking about Buffalo guys after the game. Like, could you please take me? I could just hear what he's saying to people. He is such a negative downer that he wants, you're going to hear it next week. I guarantee it, that he's going to be taken like, I want to be out of here and this bullshit. All this negativity with the team, even though they had made a good effort, is going to come out with Miami this week. You watch.
They're very desperate, obviously. They gave them their best effort, and they still lost. So it's like, do they quit?
They're deflated. They're deflated. And I want to say, I want to see that same effort with us, Jake, Sunday. I want to see if we put out 100% effort, if we straighten things out, I have no doubt that Taylor's going to have a nice, controlled offense. We're going to matriculate the ball down the field. We have to push. We have to, get the offensive line going. I want to see some screens. We didn't see any screens. I mean, I'm watching Elijah Moore doing these end arounds and getting 10 yards a shot, and he was on our team. What did he do for us? That we never use that sweep, that end around sweep. We never use it. When we do, it's so goddamn predictable. The guy goes behind the quarterback like 10 yards behind him. Do the quick jet sweeps. I mean, let's get some creativity. I was really, really most disappointed last week with Angstren's lack of creativity on the play calling. So I expect this week we're going to see with Bowles. Bowles is going to be blitzing his brain out because, he wants to get he really has a little deficiency in the defensive line. So he's going to want to make up for that. So I expect to see a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage. Boy, Tua, if you noticed last night, you watched the game, I assume, to some degree, right?
I did. I saw the second half.
Did you see Tua when he gets that like pressure at the line of scrimmage? He put the ball on the ground because he was so nervous about the blitz. I love when a team gets up on the line of scrimmage over center and like fakes the blitz like right up the middle where the quarterback gets nervous. That's what we have to do. I mean, it's not going to work with Baker Mayfield because he can give a shit. He'll bite the guy in the nose. So I love Baker. He's the man of the people. What was that thing? Would you say he was like a man of the? He's a guy you can't root against him. But
he's a gamer. Yeah, he's
a awesome gamer. Player. But you know what? I really I'm hoping for the best. I want to see good things on Sunday. I think I might be watching the game with Peter on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. And at least we don't have to talk about Justin Fields for a day, right? I might be a good blessing that he's not playing because I don't want Peter to throw shit at my TV.
Well, I'll tell you what, Neil, I have some numbers here talking about pressure on Baker that I put together. So he got pressured 18 times against the Texans. That was the most that he's ever been pressured since he's joined the Bucs. Now they're down another offensive lineman. When he got pressured, he had 8 incompletions. He was 3 of 11. He got sacked 4 times. Now the concern is when he took off and ran, he picked up 3 first downs, including that 4th and 10 conversion on the last drive. So there's going to be, I think, opportunities for the Jets to get home, and they have to make sure that when they get home, that they get home and maybe force a turnover, strip sack. They're going to have to create a big play by getting some pressure on Baker. I think that's the matchup. Can the Jets get enough pressure to slow down the Bucs, especially if we're not going to see a Bucs out there. You feel like they can contain Evans because of Sauce. So then can they do enough up front to make life difficult on Baker Mayfield and give the Jets an opportunity to win this game?
I mean, they're out 3 offensive linemen. Is that what I was understanding? They're going to be out 3 starters. I mean, you got to go hot and heavy with the blitz. Even though they're down starters, you don't want to just try to get to Baker with 4. You want to bring pressure up the middle, keep the outside edges, keep him in the pocket, and just push everything up the middle. And, he's shorter, Jake. He's not a tall quarterback that can see over pressure really well. So I think the best route with him is pressure up the middle, get to him early, frustrate him. He'll make a couple bad decisions. The pick 6 thing was hysterical. I mean, God, if we get a pick 6 on Sunday, can we put this guy Jay on as a weekly guest?
Have to.
That would be the most unlikely thing. I think a pick 6 by the Jets, if you had to bet it on FanDuel, would probably be $10 gets you $100,000.
I mean,
that's how unlikely it is.
It's amazing just how bad the Jets have been for years now. Even when they've had good defenses with Salah, they just never force turnovers, and it's a problem. The only chance they have is forcing a bunch of turnovers.
I did see Lavonte David that play. He said he did get one thrown right in his chest, and he dropped it.
Yep.
So they're not like the world beaters on the takeaway game as well. And one thing I think he made, I don't know if he made this point, but I think we have a distinct advantage against Tampa Bay in the special teams area. Their special teams is not that good, Jake. They had a couple blunders last week. They got a block kick, right?
Yep.
Right.
The kicker missed field goals. Their punter got a kick blocked. And look, remember when the Jets beat the Bucs and Geno Smith's first ever start, Nick Folk hit a game-winning field goal. Maybe we get that on Sunday.
I'm telling you, Jake, it's going to be our special teams. Aside from the one missed extra point from Falk, but you could see whenever your special teams on a close game like this, which we know it's going to be close, we're not going to get blown out this week. That's bullshit. Whoever thinks that's crazy. But in a close game like we're expected to have on Sunday, the special teams is going to make the difference. And I tell you one thing, and I don't want to – this punter we have is amazing. And he basically is a game changer with field position, and I trust Falk to make a kick to win a game, and that's it. I'm out.
Neil, job well done. I wish you were coming to Tampa though. I mean,
I wish too, but
it's sad. It's not too late, Neil. Flight to see.
I'm sick as a freaking dog to boot, so I'm glad I'm not going.
You're a Jet fan, of course you're sick.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Good call from Neil. Ladies and gentlemen, a 10 spot of gifted memberships from Bo C. You know what that means. It means Bo knows.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Australian Jets fan, Sebastian Diaz, JC Winkler, Adam Cavender, Dub74, Pocono Jet, Phil M, Mike Ferraro, Ivo DeNicholas, and Jam all receiving a channel membership. But wait, there's more. David Atkins wants in on our signed Kevin Mawai jersey raffle. He has gifted 5 more memberships.
Money, 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 money.
Hey now, the following 5 listeners are now channel members. Joe M, Freak Turd Zero, Rec King, Lucky Leo, and Aaron Quinones. I'm going to gift a membership right now. If you want one, stop what you're doing and hit the like button. That's the thumbs up button. Make sure that if you're one of the 300 plus people watching live right now, you hit the subscribe button. That's right over there. And have the setting turned on that you want to receive a gifted membership. All right, you do that, you got a chance to get one. I'm going to gift one coming up. Spencer Green checks in with a $10 super chat. He says, Jake, good morning. He says, Jake, good morning, Big Show. Good morning, Beast. Good morning, Gary. Luppy, PBM, Neil. How are you, fine fellas? I'd like to kick some ass. Spencer, thank you. Spencer follows up, and he's calling out that guy, Mike TF, who was trolling people in the chat. He says, my God, get the hell out of the channel. Damn, Jake, are you still drunk? This guy's a moron. Do something, Jake. Don't make me send Beastbreaker. And by God, Bobby Midnight after this SOB. Thank you very much, man. Tom Roseman says, happy belated, Jake. Thank you, Tom. Must win game or another crap season. Yeah, I mean, if they don't win, they're 0-3. You could forget playoffs, right? Then we're just playing out the stretch. Do we have something in Fields? How do we feel about the coach? And not that I thought the Jets were going to be a playoffs anyway, but like 0-3, really? It's just kind of depressing at that point. It's like, what do you like? We're just going through. We're just like, we're done in September. I mean, they'll win one game and people will try and be like, well, here comes the run. But it's like, you got to win Sunday, man. Win Sunday, and you could beat Miami and be 2-2 just like that. 0-3. What are we talking about? They got to win a game, though, man. Like, none of this matters. They got to win Sunday. That's the biggest thing. Win the damn game on Sunday, or it just doesn't matter. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. I'm going to gift a membership right now. So if you want one, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because a membership is being gifted by yours truly. And it has been done, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, one gifted membership right now. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Relentless SJC. You are a channel member. Spencer Green with a $5 super chat. Beast, are you scared of that troll, man? I thought you held world belts. You're going to let a guy talk about our Jets like that? Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with the man himself. Beast, we see your chin fat, but we can't hear you. Your guitar never picks up
Welcome to hell, boys. This is Dracula country. And whoever that guy was, don't get in my way. I'll run you right off a cliff.
Why do you, Beast, why do you sound like, shut up. Why do you sound like you're underwater?
Wait a second. Wait a second there.
Your mic's not even plugged in, so that does nothing.
Right, sure. Oh, I was getting all prepared for Dracula, old school Rob Zombie. We're gonna win Sunday. I have the smelly feeling. And after we get done, kicking up Tampa, we're bringing all our supplies to Miami, and Miami is known for, you remember what Will Smith used to say? We're going to Miami. Yeah, that's right. But we're going to Miami with all the spices. We're gonna spice.
Hey, Beast, can you turn on the light? It's very dark in there. It's tough to see you.
My ass. My big ass says it all. And
yes, you do have a big ass.
Prepared yesterday, cleaned all nicely, new strings put on. 20 minutes? No problem. Except this is the toughest tuning they do. Very tough to do. But I'm going to be looking forward to getting a brand new one very, very shortly in the coming time frame.
And Villette wants to know, are you going to watch the game?
No shit. What are you, blind, McFly? Go get your eyes fixed, you big butthead. I'll be cooking and I'll be doing the same thing at the same time. And I'm going to be picking up burrito shells and cheese because there's going to be an ultimate breakfast burrito being made.
Spencer Green says, Beast, are you scared of that troll? He literally said he was going to kick your ass.
Watch. You know what? There's an 8-letter word for it. Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Tom D says, Beast, you're a fraud. You can't play guitar and you don't watch games.
I know what you can kiss. Kiss my big ass.
Hey, we can't see your ass because your mic that's not plugged into your actual audio computer there doesn't work.
My ass is right here, Jack.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Amanda says you have a huge ass.
Good. Well, I'm big. Let's just say this. I'm big, I'm tough, and I'm a man's man. At least I need to keep my body here on, because why? I look good, and I may look pretty damn good. But you know what? I don't care about that. I care about winning. I care about winning 2 of these matches back to back. We win in Tampa. We win in Miami. Then we go back to New York. We beat the crap out of the Cowboys. We go to London. We deep fry the Broncos. And then we got to worry about the Bengals. That's more of a bigger concern than anything else on this planet Earth today. And
ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Hi, Beast.
It's a clanging plonker that came out of London and probably wasn't even chatting with the other people yelling out, "Stick your powder, start up your hole." Yeah, that's being said all over your country, and especially Ireland, Scotland, and especially Wales.
Well, I'm not from any of them countries, mate.
Well, I can tell you from London.
I'm not from London, mate.
Yeah, where you from, mate?
Try again, dickhead. Guess.
Run that by me again there, mate.
Guess where I'm from.
Down under.
Definitely not, mate, no.
Fine, have it your way. Not like I care anyway. Because as far as I'm concerned, I got better things to do than playing with a plunker like you. And especially if I was Gordon Ramsay, I'd be like, you know what? You still cook like shit. Today you'll cook like shit. Tomorrow you'll cook like shit. And you'll probably get your pink notice as your walking papers. You know, that's what you'll be getting. You cannot serve 6 servings. Because when it comes to main courses, you definitely cannot cook 6 main courses because you're basically slow, lazy, and very, very cheap. And
why does it always come to food with you? You just love food, don't you? You are one fat cunt.
I'm a master like you muppet.
You are proper obese.
You're just
in the nicest possible way. You are well fat.
Yeah, you're just some little wanker that got no heart. You don't even have the balls for it. That's why you're
anyone's little next to you, mate.
You don't have
anyone.
It. You don't even have it. Get out of here. You waste my time. I got better things to do than playing with a plunker like you. And
right,
matter of fact, why don't you go away about your work?
What better things have you got to do, mate?
Oh, I got
what better things have you got to do?
Why don't you worry
You're sitting your back all day with your little guinea pig. What better things do you have to do?
You dirty little wanker. You ain't nothing but a wanker, you little muppet. You're just a muppet. A muppet. Now get out of here, you freaking Oreo idiot. Oh my God.
I'm a what?
Hey, you know me, you little wanker. You're just some wanking little chump. Now get out of here. Go do something worthwhile. Why don't you go make some cookies? You can get some milky cookies.
We don't make cookies. We make biscuits, don't we?
Oh, go on. Come on, go on. You finished? Yeah, that's what I thought. You basically can't even. You can't
I'm not even started, mate. Don't mess a word in with you.
Yeah, you know what your problem is? You can't cook a scrambled egg because you're a fucking idiot. You can't even salt and pepper. You can't even do it correctly. Yeah, this or that. Get out of here. Go back to cooking school.
I'll tell you what.
Go back to cooking school while you're at it, you idiot.
I'd rather not season my food than look like you fat fuck.
Hey, unlike me, I can cook way better than you little plonker. You have no idea.
You can eat a lot better than me as well, can't you?
You make
can't you tubby bastard?
You're not worth my time. You couldn't even handle a proper book. You couldn't even probably handle Kate Winslet either. After all, she's one hot babe, and I don't think you'd even know who she is. You're just some idiot. You're a blundering idiot. Now here. I got the perfect name for you. Here, call me. Call me. That's your new name from now on. When I see you, I'm gonna keep calling you. Call me. And
Yeah, it is.
What a rumble, huh? Daz, thank you for your contributions. What a moment in time. We'll never forget that one. Ladies and gentlemen, some housekeeping that needs to be attended to here, and then we'll get right back to your remaining calls. There's a guy that's been trolling the chat all morning. He goes by the name Mike M.I. Mike My. I'm going to take matters into my own hands for this one. Here's an example of one of his dumbassery comments here. Garrett Wilson, whiny wimp that couldn't handle Rodgers, so they gave him Justin Fields. Mike, you've had a great run. but your day is done. Goodbye, and please never come back.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Bye, Mike. You bum. There was a comment I wanted to hit here, too, from Mike72. I don't think the Jets offense will score more than 13 points. The Stroud-led Texans offense was limited to 19 last week. I don't know if you paid any attention to the Texans. They got a lot of problems offensively. They cannot run the ball at all. They have no running game. And Stroud has not been good now for a pretty significant sample size. And you go back to his last 12 games, he's like at the bottom of every passing category. There's something off with CJ Stroud. That's the big topic in Houston right now. So I don't think we could look at that game last week and say, well, if Houston only did this, that means the Jets can only do that. Because, like, based on that logic, Miami shouldn't have been in the game last night against Buffalo. Like, it's a week-to-week league. I think there's some matchups that bode well for the Jets. Like, Houston scored 9 points against the Rams in week 1, by the way. Like, if you go back and look at the Texans offense, they won a lot of tight one-score games a year ago. And sometimes when that happens, when you win that many one-score games, year over year, that's tough to sustain. But you go back to the end of Houston's season, right? These were the point totals that they scored from week 13 on. 23, 20, 19, 2, 23. Like, this is not a prolific offense that Houston had last year. So keep that in mind too. Tampa's a good team, but I think the Jets are going to be in this game Sunday. I really believe that. Let's get to more of your calls here. And then we'll do our raffle for a signed Kevin Mawai jersey, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bobby Midnight time.
Well, you know, I'm getting really freaking pissed. I thought I saw Gary's pretty wife. I need to get some sleep. I'm happy. Hi there, Jake. How you doing?
Hello, Bobby. How are you?
How was your birthday yesterday?
It was good. I'm excited to be down in Tampa tomorrow and see a bunch of Asmaniacs to celebrate it.
Get some sun down there, huh?
I burn, but yeah, there'll be some sun.
Oh, I do too. I'm like a ghost. Yeah. Who is this guy that Spencer wants us to take care of? Or you did take care of the guy?
Yeah, I took care of him. He was annoying.
Oh, that jerk? Yeah, Michael, whatever his name is. Yeah, Spencer, I'm on your team. I'll stick up for Jake. You don't want to be in this chat. Get the hell out. You know, we don't need your negative comments.
Well, people that join a Jets chat just to write nasty things about the Jets and troll, like, you got to have something better to do with your time.
Oh, we got Alan. Alan's harmless. We know how Alan.
He's not a real Jets fan either, but that's a
no. But
Alan doesn't write.
No,
Alan's comments aren't as ridiculous as that guy's.
No, that guy was horrible. No. So Sunday, Michael's coming over. We're gonna watch the game together, and then I'm getting sick. Buffalo Bills are 3-0 already. I am sick right now. The Poop Mafia is 3-0. You believe that?
They're a great team.
Well, they got lucky against the Ravens. Come on, they got lucky. They're not a great team. They got lucky.
Well, I mean, how many great teams are there in the AFC, right? Kansas City doesn't look like a great team.
I know. We have to. Giants have to play them on Sunday. We'll probably go 0-3 too.
The Bills are a legit Super Bowl threat. It's not an excuse for the Jets to be as bad as they were last week, and they better look a lot better on Sunday against Tampa.
No, I don't know what happened last week. I don't know. It was sad to see them lose by that much. And at least, like you said, it wasn't raining last week, Because a lot of Jet games are in that time. And then you talk about the Texans, right? Wasn't that the game we went to see them in Halloween too? Was that where you counted off from?
They lost that game.
Not by how much did they lose? Do you know?
Wait a second. The game we went to last year, Jets Texans, the Jets won. I thought you were talking about
the points
Texans
you
last
said
week.
they scored last year.
Oh, I don't think they scored. Yeah, the Halloween game they only scored 13 points in that game against the Jets.
Kind of. It was kind of low scoring in that game anyway. But we had fun. We won and we had a great time. This time I'm gonna be walking to the stadium. Not no wheelchair, and then Gator says, "Oh, this reminds me of the longest yard or something."
Boomtown says, "Bobby, there's a rumor going around that you have retired from streaming. Care to comment?"
No, it's been depressing. I tell you why. Because I'm trying to get a part-time job, and everybody turns me down. So I'm a little depressed right now.
I'm sorry, Bobby. Well, you got to keep trying. You don't want to just stop trying.
No, I am trying every day. I look at the Indeed every day. I look up what I do. I can't be like a doctor, teacher. I do a cooking area.
You can't be a doctor?
Yeah, Dr. What?
Dr. Bob?
Dr. Bob. When am I going to talk about sex? No.
What about a builder? Then we could call you Bob the Builder.
Oh, yeah. Remember that show? Yeah, I saw that when I was growing up. No, I'm not a teacher. No, I rather cook. I like to cook. That's my specialty. And what does Beast have wrong with Daz? Daz is a great guy. What's wrong with Daz?
Yeah, Daz and Beast have been going at it for a long time already.
Isn't he from Australia, Daz?
He lives in the UK.
Oh, UK. Okay. Heard, the accent.
Georgie says, nice show last night, Bobby. Not.
I know. Well, we need to press. I'm going to definitely have a show tonight. I got my ass kicked last night, so I got to get going.
Dylan Terraman writes in, Bob being depressed about his employment. Meanwhile, Gorman is happy as a clam playing Madden and eating junk food.
Dylan, you have a great trip to Florida too, young man. He's such a great guy, isn't he?
We love Dylan.
He's smart, like our young guy we met, lost this year. What's the guy? He got a coaching job.
Andrew Fialco.
Yeah, I miss Andrew so much, but at least he got a job,
Dave Briggs says, Bobby, keep trying, don't quit.
No, I'm not quitting, but it's so depressing. Everybody turns you down, so it's not very positive right now. So, but I'm trying. I want to get off the Mountain Rushmore.
Eli says, Bob, go to the nearest hotel and ask to cook breakfast there.
I know there's one. I think there should be opening up one up in Hilton again.
So try that. It's a good idea, by the way.
Yeah, that's the breakfast attendant. That I already tried for that. I think I have to. They didn't get back to me yet. That's the one I'm waiting for. So
J-O-B, job.
We believe, Bob. We believe.
I believe in myself, but it's been a while. Remember, you said I should have. I don't know what's going on with me. I try my hardest.
Spencer Green says, Bobby, I'm a minute or so behind on the show, but hell yeah, I love you, Bobby.
Yeah, I love you too, Spencer. You're a great guy. We got to get rid of those loser people who talk about the Jets.
Eli says, call them back and ask what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I could call up myself. Yeah, I don't have to wait. A lot of people say you got to not
wait. Be persistent. Yeah, be aggressive.
J-O-B, job.
Especially when you do YouTube too, you got to be persistent. Which I'm
exactly.
Not.
Hey, shout out to Griel, by the way. He is in our jersey raffle for the signed Mawai jersey for one.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah, Mawai is a very good player.
One of the best in the Hall of Fame.
I remember him. Very good. I like the other guy, Mangold. He's great. He was funny.
Peter Castro says he misses you, Bob.
I miss you too, Peter. You're a great guy. How's your wife and you doing? Isn't he got a knee problem? Right? He has a knee problem.
Dave Briggs says, Bobby at least desires to seek work as opposed to a younger Gorman.
Yeah, but I want to work. I want to get out and talk to people. I walk, but I don't really talk to people. I just want to get out. Because you know what's coming up soon? Wintertime. Saturday's the last day of summer.
Spencer Green checks in with this super chat. Bobby, I'm a year away from taking the bar exam and becoming an attorney. My first call after the bar exam will be to you. I want you to be a paralegal for me. We would conquer the world. How about that?
Well, do you have to go to college for paralegal?
I don't believe so.
What's a paralegal? What do they do?
Have you seen the show Suits?
Yeah, no. What's that about?
Well, paralegal is what the Rachel character on Suits. That was her role.
What did they do? Help the lawyer?
Rachel Zane. Bobby Zane Midnight.
All right, I'll look that up, see what they do. Paralegal.
Yeah, watch the show Suits. I think you'll like the lovely ladies on that show.
Who are the lovely ladies?
You kind of remind me of an older Meghan Markle.
I like White Lotus. You know, with Our Girl, the first season.
I've seen that show.
Who you liked on that show?
Sydney Sweeney's in that first season, I believe, right?
Sydney Sweeney. After that season, I stopped watching it. I didn't understand the second.
Season 2 is good as well.
Nah,
Christopher from The Sopranos is on there.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'd rather see her. I wanted to see her again. I didn't see her, so no more.
There's more than one beautiful lady on these shows, Bob.
Yeah, but I like and then the lady from American Pie was on the show too. She's funny lady.
The lady from American Pie? Oh, Stifler's mom.
Yeah, Stifler's mom. She's funny in that one too. Oh God, she's crazy. Yeah, so today is my friend Ferrara coming, right?
Who is?
Nick Ferrier?
No, Nick is he had something come up this afternoon, so we have a different guest.
Oh, who's that?
Ryan Sampson will be joining me.
Where's he from?
He's from the New York Post.
Oh, I think I remember him. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I tuned into that. Thank you for having me on.
You got it, Bob. Keep up the great work, all right?
I'm trying. I'm going to have a show today. Got to be persistent now, you know.
Go get a job, Bob. We believe.
Yeah, I want to get a job. Yes. J-O-B. Right. Yes. Have a good day, everybody.
J-O-B, job.
Robert Woodruff, everybody. What a call there from Mr. Midnight himself. All right. Aaron Glenn is speaking to reporters right now. He's going to provide an injury update for all of us here. First, a quick super chat from Tom D, who says, "Your time will come, Bob. Keep that head up." Well said. All right. This was Aaron Glenn moments ago with an injury report update here on Friday.
On the injury front, Josh Reynolds will be out. Kane will be out. Jay Tefeli, he will be out. And Jermaine Johnson will be out. All right, so those are the guys that won't be playing.
We're not surprised about the other names, but Jermaine being out's a bummer. It was trending that way when he didn't practice the first 2 days, but that's a bummer because this is a game where if Jermaine was healthy, he could make a huge difference with the Bucs down 3 offensive linemen. There's the update from Glenn. You just heard it. Jermaine Johnson, Josh Reynolds, Kane Nwanu, and Jay Tefeli ruled out. That means Lazard's going to play again, and he was so bad last week. Supposed to be known for his blocking. He sucked at it last week. Jermaine Johnson, Josh Reynolds, Kane, and Tefeli out. When do we worry about Jay? Jay Tefeli, what type of illness does this guy have? Huh? Was he have pneumonia or something? I mean, you hear illness, you don't think he's going to miss 2 weeks. And this guy was good week 1. If you watch it back, he made a couple plays, and he obviously had a good training camp and preseason. But he's listed on the injury report with an illness. Jermaine's got the ankle. Kane's got the hamstring. Reynolds has also a hamstring. Jets have an extra day next week because it's a Monday night game. So hopefully these guys will be back for that. At least Jermaine for sure. Swamp Ranger says this team is done. They need to trade anyone worth a damn while they have the chance. Come on. The season is 2 games in. Relax. Who are they trading away right now? Neil checks in with a super chat. What happened to Weed the People? Weed hasn't called in a while. I'm not sure. It's a good point. Weed, if you're out there, we miss you. Bobby, look for a full-time job. That may be your problem. why you're looking for part-time work. Some wise words there from Neil. Bo with a super chat. I can't take another week of Frankenstein running around with bolts on his neck. Clemens is the bane of my existence. I mean, he shouldn't be on the team, but we know why he is. Bad job by Muji and Glenn. Bad job. They didn't address that position adequately. They misevaluated their own players internally. They thought they could be the team that could fix Michael Clemens. Blame Saleh and the previous coaching staff for Michael Clemens being bad. Watch us fix him. Watch us fix Xavier Gibson. How'd that work? Cost them a game. Their hubris with those players cost them. And Clemens is still here. Devin wants to know, did Jay Tafili eat salmon? Yeah, did he get the Denzel Mims illness? I don't know. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Jermaine Johnson ruled out alongside Josh Reynolds, Kene Nwanu, and Jay Tafili. Home stretch of calls. Last chance to enter our raffle on the show today for a signed Kevin Mawai jersey. If you enter for the Mawai jersey, you also qualify to win on Tuesday 3 of our signed footballs. Wayne Corbett, Sauce Gardner, and Darrelle Revis. More calls right now. Let's say hello to a man who appears to be headed to Tampa. Rick Kent's on the line. What's up, Rick?
You know it. I'm at the airport in Los Angeles waiting for my flight on my way to Tampa.
How long is the flight from L.A. to Tampa, Rick?
It's 4 hours and 50 minutes, something like that.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
No. So like when you stay south, it's not as bad. Atlanta's about the same, a little over 4 hours. Tampa. I'm taking off at 10:15 my time, landing at 6 p.m., 5:50. So not that bad. Not like going to London where I lost a whole day traveling. That was crazy. Plus, it was a red eye. I left at 11 o'clock at night and got there like a day and a half later. The airport's not that crowded. They haven't even put up my flight yet on the gate. It's only 8:29 here today. I had a little excitement. I always forget something when I travel, and I forgot my earbuds. So I had to buy these wired earbuds at the airport and pay twice as much as they should have cost me. So that was exciting. I just can't wait to see what else I forgot, and can't wait to meet all the Asmaniacs. Shout out to all my IRLs. I mean, it's early. Just had my coffee. The Starbucks line had like 200 people on it, but I came to a local business, Homeboy Industries. Shout out LA, wherever you are.
Very nice.
Based in East LA, goes to keep kids out of gangs, and there was no line for coffee, and the coffee was good. So I was happy with that.
I love it. Where's your Jets gear, Rick? You got to be repping on the flight.
My Jets gear is packed. I brought my new JJ jersey that I won on your show, and
of course he's not playing. Damn.
He's not playing, but I still may. Are they wearing? Do you know what color they're wearing?
They're wearing green. Yeah, they're wearing green and white pants. The Bucs are wearing their white throwbacks.
So I have my green Garrett Wilson number 5. I'll wear that to the game. I guess I wear the JJ to the meetup or something.
Love it.
Unless I just dress like a regular person and just wear regular clothing. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Well, Rick, I hope you have a safe flight, man. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. And everybody else, shout out everybody. Take
Ladies
care.
and gentlemen, the great Rick Kent checking in from the airport in Los Angeles, heading out to Tampa. Bunch of people traveling today. I'm on the first flight out tomorrow morning. It's like a 2-hour flight from New York, so there's so many flights. Castaway Jet just gifted 10 memberships. Castaway, I love it. Is that Justin Fields in your picture already? He's changed from Saleh to Fields getting sacked. Good God, man. He's in the raffle for 10. Fireman Ed will be at our meetup tomorrow, for those who missed that announcement. And if you guys are on social media, Fireman Ed 42 on Instagram, shoot Fireman Ed a message wishing him a happy birthday. A year ago today was the best moment of the Aaron Rodgers era. They kicked the crap out of the Patriots to get the 2-1. Then we had 9 days to enjoy it before it all fell apart. A year ago today, I should have brought this up when Neil was on the show. Neil did this.
I think that guy. I know, right?
Maybe the most fun tailgate ever at L5. Unreal. Castaway, thank you for supporting the channel, man. You guys have no idea how much it means to get the memberships and super chat support here. Wrong Verve, Rich Samini's Krusty, Tissue, Jay-Z, Jet Fan, Chris Adams, Dan Doyle, Luis Montez, Jason Sargis, and Michael Panza. Oh, plus Michael Barlow or Bartow, all receiving a gifted membership. Home stretch of calls here. Then we'll do the raffle. The hamburgers next. What's up, Burger?
What's up, Jake? How we doing today?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Hanging in there, man. Down 15 pounds on my diet. I don't think I can sustain eating this diet for very long, though. I could tell you that it's a little monotonous eating just steak and meat, and it's just I kind of like sides, man. So I'm gonna stick with it another week or two, and then incorporate some other things. But
when did you start it? So you're just eating like a just straight protein diet?
Yeah, it's straight protein carnivore. I started it not this last Monday, but I did lose 15 pounds on it so far. So got myself under, So I got myself under 200. I need another 15 pounds. So another 2 weeks from now, and I'll start incorporating some other things. I feel okay.
Are you exercising too? Like that's just straight protein? You lost weight?
Well, next week I start exercising. Last week I had that issue with my neck, but it's gone away. So I'm going to start fresh on Monday morning. Get myself looking fresh for the missus when we go away in December. So, but happy Football Friday to everybody. Unfortunately, I'll be at the Mets game on Sunday, so I'll have to be peeking in on my phone because it's my wife's birthday. The 26th, she turns 40. So we're taking a bunch of people to the Mets game on Sunday. But
very nice.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this Sunday. One hand, I can we turn around and do the unthinkable and actually win against this team? But I don't know. I'm struggling to see the light in it. I think the way Baker Mayfield presents a problem for us, and the way that our defense has been lately struggling. I don't have great feelings about it. I'm hoping we pull out a win, so maybe buy back some of these fans like myself to be a little more interested in the season. I mean, all this week I just didn't even really want to talk about the Jets too much. I didn't really want to dive into the games. Just it doesn't give me that excitement. I like football. I love football. And to be honest, it's kind of ruined it. They kind of ruin it for me to watch in other games too. I mean, I watched last night for a bit with the Buffalo game in Miami. I thought Miami had a chance for a minute, but I fell asleep and I saw what happened at the end. But I don't know, man. I'm still struggling to get that excited about watching them on Sunday. I'm sure a lot of other fans are in the same boat as me, but I'm hoping they can change my mind and give us, at least a dash of hope to having a season other than winning 2 games the rest of the way, because that's the feeling that I have is 2 games. I don't like to say it. I don't like to think that way, but
I don't think they're that bad though, Hamburger. They almost beat the Steelers week 1.
Jake. I hope they're not. Well, what we've seen, they had the first week, but they also let up 32 points, and then last week was an abomination. So if they can't go out and perform and at least put up a credible game, that if we win or lose, at least put up a damn credible game that we're not feeling like shit on Monday and I got to call in and be all pissed off because I don't really have the energy or the want to be so pissed off about them anymore. I mean, it's a sad fact. I mean, it's 40 plus years of me watching this team, and I have to go back 14 years other than last year's New England game, for good memories of this team. Really, I mean, it's sad. It sucks. And I feel bad for everybody, especially some of the younger fans that got sucked into like the 2010 season and became fans for life. And they've had 14 years of misery. At least I got to watch some years of Jet good play. You know what I mean? But it's just it's tough, man. And I feel bad for a lot of the fans in this franchise. I feel bad for myself.
2 wins is not what they're going to do this year. They should have won week 1. They've had one good game offensively and a game they easily could have won, and a game they were awful and lost to a team that might be the best team in all of football. So, it's too early to say they're only going to win 2 games. I didn't have them as a playoff team, but they're not picking. 2 games means that they're going to win less games than what the Giants did last year and how bad they were.
I know.
And the Titans.
But I'd rather go with that attitude right now, because the other attitudes of last year and the year before was, we're much better than this. We're going to be good. We're going to win X. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'd rather be down on the team this year, to be honest, because it's easier to fucking write it off at the end of the season to be like, that's what I thought. And that's just, maybe it's just saving my own feelings. Maybe it's saving me from being stressed out about watching the games and shit. I don't know. I love this team so much, and I love football so much, and it's making it tough and it's making it difficult. And that's 40 years of watching this team. This is probably.
I get it. I'm not telling you you're wrong for feeling that way. I don't think they're nearly as bad as you think they are. They're not good, but they're not as bad as you think they are.
I hope not. At the beginning of the year, I thought them 5 to 7 games max was their high ceiling, probably 7 games. But we'll see, man. I hope it turns around. I hope they give us something to cheer for. I hope they give us some excitement on Sunday. But I'll be watching while I'm sitting in the stands at Citi Field. Hopefully that team doesn't shit the bed on me too. The only thing I have to fall back on is some F1 racing. So I don't have anything else that I watch. And nobody in this chat probably even watches F1. So, but, you enjoy your trip out to Florida. I hope they bring home a win for everybody and they get to ride home on the plane happy and not miserable and have to go back to work on Monday. Shitty. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. But you guys have safe flights, safe trips. Hopefully I'll see you guys when are you doing anything in Manhattan anytime soon? Viewing party?
Yeah, it's maybe for the Dolphin game. We'll see. Yeah, it's in the works.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'll see if I can get out for that.
Hamburger, hang in there,
enjoy,
man. Have a good day, all right?
You too, guys.
The hamburger checking in. 15 pounds lighter than hamburger protein, man. How about that? Hey, is Spencer Green coming to Tampa? He says, my Christ, I found a flight and Jake and crew has talked me into coming. What's the name of the hotel? Hotel Tampa Riverwalk is where a bunch of Asmaniacs are staying. But anywhere in that downtown area at this point, Spencer, just try and find the best deal because the group discount rate that we had is no longer active this close, unfortunately. A couple updates here. Samini saying that the injury that Jermaine has is a sprained ankle and it's not on his Achilles leg, so that's good. But Jermaine's not playing Sunday. Also, Brady Cook confirmed will be the backup. Aaron Glenn says Cook wouldn't be here if they didn't have confidence in him. Hate to say it, but Brady Cook's got to be ready to come in because, unfortunately, with Tyrod, we've seen him come in as a starter, get an opportunity, and get hurt. Saw it against the Jets in 2023. The famous Jet Giant barn burner in the rain that I watched with Beningo. So, Brady Cook, you're one hit away from being out there. Do we have our next Brock Purdy? I don't know. All right, one call left. So last chance to enter our Kevin Mawai raffle. If you gift a membership, it's just $5 to do that. You got a chance to win. Thank you to Anthony Logerato, who just sent me a Venmo. So I will put him in the raffle. Thank you to Anthony for supporting the show. Let's say hello right now to today's closer, David T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hey, Jay.
David T, how we feeling?
Better every day. I'm taking it day by day. I'm taking my medicine, my Fireball to soothe my throat and get my cold better. And, anyway, thanks for letting me close out. And I officially declare this weekend with the start of Neil's phone call. What a great phone call. He's relaxed. He's realistic. He's optimistic. He's confident. And, he is the godfather of the Asmaniacs. So in listening to him, I officially start my Jets Tampa Bay weekend, experience. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
I love it. Short and sweet, David. I'll tell you what, I'm excited to meet you tomorrow. Hopefully you feel a heck of a lot better. All right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just the difference from day to day, Jake. I don't know if you can. My voice is so much better, and my throat. I don't. My throat's not really sore, and all that. So, I'll make a judgment. On tomorrow because I don't want to get other people sick. But we're gonna play it by ear, and we're gonna do the best we can.
Well, I love that. I'll tell you what. I think people are going to be very excited to meet you, David T. I think there's going to be a big crowd pop when you walk in.
Well, yeah, I've been looking forward to this for months, and I love the Jets fans and the Asmaniacs, and maybe I'll do like when COVID was, I'll stand like 12 feet away for a handshake or something.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, David. I can't wait. All right.
All right, Jake, and you had said about the hot weather. Yeah, my nephew, he has red hair like you, and he's very fair complected, and he does have to watch himself in the sun. So you watch yourself there, buddy.
David T, hell yeah, baby, love it.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
David T. Love that. Love that. Turn up the Jets. I love this. He says, I'm headed to Tampa tonight for the game. Going to try and get the Gaspers tomorrow. Jets. Let's go. Turn up the Jets. See you there. Robin Boy Wonders in the raffle for one. Love that. Absolutely love that. It's going to be a great time this weekend until the game starts, and then the pain continues. But maybe the Jets surprise us and win. Wouldn't that be nice? Spencer Green says, Jake, what section is everyone sitting in? Hellfire, I want to sit with everyone if I do this. Great question. So there's not a specific section where everyone is. People are dispersed in a bunch of different sections in the corner of the end zone near the pirate ship. Section 244 is where I know a bunch of Asmaniacs are definitely going to be. Let me show you on the map here, Spencer. Like what the Jet fans are taking over the corner of the end zone. So it's like 144, 244, and 344. Right next to the pirate ship, if you look at the map there. So safe bet that if you pick 244, you'll see Jets Johnny, who's in that section. I know Gator and Rat Diddy are in 244. So that could be your spot. But I'm excited to meet you, man. That's awesome that you're actually going to pull this off. Love that. Last second decision. Hopefully it's worth it. All right. It's time for a raffle, folks. Today we're giving away a signed Kevin Mawai jersey. There it is. Number 68. Signatures on the other side. So, but trust me, it's in there. Plus, it includes the authentication certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is raffle time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
You see all the names, but there can only be one winner. Only one winner. And if you win, you have to email me your name and address so I know where to send it to. Good luck to everyone. Thanks to everyone who participated, whether you sent in a super chat or gifted a channel membership to the community. It goes a long way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go, folks. Good luck. The winner is Castaway Jet. Castaway Jet, I think this is your first ever raffle win, if I'm correct. So congratulations. Email me, please, asmanjake@gmail.com. If you get back to me right away, I could try and get it sent out today before I head to Tampa tomorrow morning. If not, I'll send it when I get back. Congratulations to Castaway Jet. Hit the Jet chant for him. Let's go. Awesome. 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 All right. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Big thank you to Jay Recher. I'm going to be joining Jay on his channel, Talking Jets Bucs, at 1 p.m. So we did a little home and home here on YouTube. I'll be back at 4 o'clock today. Ryan Sampson from the New York Post Gangs All Here podcast is my guest. He'll be in for Nick Faria, who had a situation come up where he couldn't do the show this afternoon. So we'll preview the game with Ryan, do some over-unders, and give out some prop bets we like during the second show today. All the odds, of course, courtesy of our friends over at FanDuel. On that note, thanks again for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you guys soon. Go Jets, everybody.
Yeah, I ran out of oregano. I was like, ow. You know how that fun is? It never ends. Yeah. It's always one thing after another. You know how that works. Yeah. All right, what do we got here at the grand total?
28.45.
28.45. I'll take care of you. Don't worry. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
He just told us his pin.
Service with a smile. That is the sexiest thing you're ever going to see.
J-E-T-S. Just. All right, let's go.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.